White headphones circle loose, half-tied brown hair. Gravel crunch follows faded roadside billboard paint. My knee-fold brushes tall roadside wildflowers. Country platform waits beyond cedar telephone poles. A rusted bicycle leans beside storage crates. Terminal windows mirror drifting mountain cloud fragments. My shirt seam catches scent from pine resin. Loose tickets scattered beside cracked departure notices. Wooden fences guide me beside narrow rice fields. Distant whistles wander across shining rail tracks. My skirt hem gathers dust from crossings. Green hills cradle sleepy roofs beyond embankments. The stop sign tilts beside tangled ivy. Brown sparrows quarrel under weather timetable boards. Half-tied hair touches warm collarbone during pauses. Afternoon light stains abandoned freight boxes amber. A tiny kiosk sleeps behind locked shutters. Wildflowers crowd the gravel beside drainage gutters. My white headphones hum forgotten classroom melodies. Country depot breeze through old cedar beams. Waiting where May becomes another fading memory. Slow rails cradle hearts beside country station platforms. One ticket remains for unfamiliar summer mornings. Country terminal keeps spring beneath quiet footsteps. Tea bottles clink inside my canvas shoulder bag. Railway weeds sway beside chipped crossing mirrors. My fabric line follows curves through hillside paths. Crows glide above abandoned farming equipment sheds. Wooden utility poles divide bright afternoon meadows. Loose gravel circles around worn stop boots. My blouse sleeve brushes rust beside handrails. Signal lights blink across distant bamboo thickets. An old billboard peels beside empty rice fields. Pine cones collect beneath crooked depot gutters. My half-tied hair catches valley breeze fragments. Country maps fade beside cloudy ticket windows. 3 bicycles rest beside faded vending machines. Rail tracks shimmer under drifting swallow shadows. My pleat shadow folds across narrow crossing paths. Old loudspeakers guard the silent waiting shelter. Dusty notebooks press against folded train schedules. A distant whistle circles green transmission towers. Pale fabric brightens beside weathered fences. Country platform watches crows above empty crossings. Small rivers sparkle beneath low concrete bridges. Wooden benches wait beside forgotten luggage carts. My headphones carry soft cassette guitar echoes. May sunlight pools across uneven ballast stones. The gravel path narrows beside climbing wild vines. Terminal cats disappear beneath stacked farming baskets. My skirt hem sways across drifting leaf shadows. One departing train reflects inside puddled rainwater. Waiting where May becomes another fading memory. Slow rails cradle hearts beside country station platforms. One ticket remains for unfamiliar summer mornings. Country depot keeps spring beneath quiet footsteps. Gravel roads fade behind rolling countryside windows. My half-tied hair lifts above checked shoulders. Country platform shrinks beside distant green ridge lines. Late May lingers across humming railway steel. Empty platforms stretch beneath pale mountain sunlight. My blouse collar glows beside painted warning lines. A torn billboard rattles above waiting bicycles. Country terminal echoes through uncovered timber rafters. Stop clocks pause above faded destination arrows. Rail tracks divide silent patches of wildflowers. Skirt edges brush a chip platform benches. Swallows drift beyond electrical cables near valleys. Half-tied hair falls across open geography notebooks. Loose gravel gathers beneath rusted timetable corners. A distant whistle rolls through cedar windbreaks. Yellow paving cracks beside forgotten canned coffee. Three pigeons wander near stacked wooden crates. The depot sign fades beneath tangled climbing ivy. My white headphones cover lingering classroom chatter. Afternoon shadows stretch across narrow boarding markings. No conductors appear beside silent ticket windows. Rice field reflections shimmer beyond crossing barricades. My knee folds against cool metal railings. Country platform waits beneath drifting mountain haze. Slow rail soft hearts beside country terminal afternoons. Waiting where May becomes another fading memory. No footsteps return across empty boarding lines. Country stop hums beneath unfinished farewells. A paper bag rustles beside platform pillars. Old advertisements curl above cracked vending machines. My blouse sleeve touches peeling depot paint. Wildflowers bloom beside unused freight loading ramps. Railway wires tremble above distant greenhouse rooftops. Loose notebooks rest against weathered cedar columns. My fabric line follows breeze through open shelters. Signal bells sleep beyond crossing safety mirrors. Half-tied hair brushes warm cheeks beside handrails. A distant whistle bends across shallow riverbanks. Dust gathers near abandoned luggage weighing scales. Country platform reflects through scratched timetable glass. An orange cat circles beneath stacked milk crates. Platform shadows stripe old newspaper advertisement pages. My cotton sleeve catches scent from pine wood. Empty rails stretch beyond telephone transmission towers. Mountain clouds drift above silent terminal gutters. Brownies gather beside cracked concrete flower pots. My pleat shadow sways beside faded destination boards. Passenger benches hold forgotten umbrella rain marks. A tiny radio crackles from caretaker storage rooms. Loose tick-tie beneath warped wooden floorboards. My headphones carry distant cassette piano fragments. May sunlight lingers across silver railway steel. The platform edge brightens beneath returning swallows. A distant whistle crosses darkening bamboo fences. My half-tied hair lifts beside notebook corners. Country stop opens like unfinished summer postcards. Slow rail soft hearts beside country depot afternoons. Waiting where May becomes another fading memory. No footsteps return across empty boarding lines. Country platform hums beneath unfinished farewells. Platform shadows fade beneath approaching carriage windows. My skirt hem passes yellow boarding markers. One local train breathes across shining rail tracks. Late May remains inside quiet terminal timber. wooden bench carries fading afternoon warmth. My shirt seam brightens beneath cedar stop rafters. Check skirt spreads across scratched timber planks. Country depot smells from rain-soaked newspaper stacks. Half-tied hair slips across car student initials. Early tea sweats beside folded train pamphlets. A platform cat sleeps beneath hanging flower pots. Green hills frame distant railway transmission towers. Wood grain darkens beneath drifting platform shadows. Skirt edges brushes loose pine needle clusters. Old magazines lean beside a rusted timetable brackets. Distant whistles echo beyond crowded bamboo slopes. White headphones rest above soft cardigan sleeves. The terminal sign flickers through swaying maple branches. Loose tickets hide beneath canvas shoulder straps. Country stop hums through weathered wooden floorboards. 3 school notebooks cover one side, carefully folded. Afternoon sunlight stains scratch bench corners. Golden pale fabric catches scent from nearby cedar wood. Rail track shimmer beyond stacked farming baskets. This wooden bench remembers unfinished spring conversations. Slow rail, soft hearts beside country depot afternoons. One ticket waits beside warm, barely tea bottles. Country platform keeps me inside. Quiet timber. A sparrow hops beside dropped rice, cracker crumbs. Half-tied hair brushes cool shoulders near railings. My knee fold gathers dust from platform boards. Old loudspeakers watch drifting clouds above crossings. Wildflowers bloom beneath faded emergency terminal maps. Wooden crates rest beside abandoned umbrella stands. My headphones carry distant cassette guitar melodies. Signal lights blink across shadowed valley curves. The bench creaks beneath shifting afternoon posture. Pine cones gather beside chipped platform flower pots. My blouse collar reflects through scratched timetable glass. Country stop fades behind drifting swallow shadows. Loose photographs sleep inside geography textbook pages. A distant whistle circles low farming rooftops. My fabric line folds beside warm cedar armrests. Rail tracks divide green hills beyond crossings. Rain marks stain the bench beside carved dates. Old advertisements peel above narrow depot corridors. My half-tied hair lifts near passing valley winds. Country platform waits beneath dim platform lanterns. 3 coins rest beside folded departure schedules. Wooden benches line the quiet boarding shelter. My white headphones soften distant classroom memories. Late May glows across polished railway steel. A terminal bell trembles beyond clustered cedar branches. Wildflowers sway beside stacked countryside milk containers. My pleat shadow brushes warm planks during silence. One approaching train reflects through cloudy window glass. This wooden bench remembers unfinished spring conversations. Slow rail, soft hearts beside country stop afternoons. One ticket waits beside warm, barely tea bottles. Country depot keeps me inside. Quiet timber. The wooden bench cools beneath dim valley sunlight. My half-tied hair follows passing carriage reflections. Country platform fades beside distant crossing signals. Late May lingers across worn cedar grain. Green hills lies behind empty terminal roofs, corners inside the cafe. My cotton sleeve catches cedar branch shadows across the tabletop. Check skirt brushes wildflowers beside gravel paths. Country stop rests below clouded May. Ridge lines through window light. Old timetable pages curl beside climbing ivy beneath silver light. Half-tied hair grazes worn notebook paper corners. Tea-field shimmer beyond narrow wooden guardrails. Textures, telephone wires cross layered green valley ridge lines, contours. A farmer pedals past flooded rice mirrors. Wooden crates sleep beneath faded crossing billboards. Textures, my skirt hem follows hillside path curves edges. Brown sparrows circle abandoned greenhouse rooftop frames. Curves, green hills deep and behind dark railway tunnel surfaces. My white headphones carry cassette guitar chords. Loose tickets hide inside geography notebook pages. Country depot watches swallows above cedar fences in afternoon light. Amber sunlight stains rusted platform roof gutters, contours across the tabletop. Wildflowers crowd mossy stones beside drainage channels across the tabletop. My blouse sleeve brushes peeling timetable edges across the tabletop. From afar, distant whistles wander across mountain railway ridges. Shapes, green hills cradle unfinished spring departure memories through window light. Slow rails carry names beyond valley rooftops. Beyond the window, I remain here while distant dreams wander. Country terminal keeps May beneath fading sunlight. Old bicycles lean beside weathered storage shouts from afar. Signal lights blink across distant bamboo thickets edges beneath silver light. Skirt edges folds against wooden railings inside the cafe beneath silver light. Cloud reflection shimmer over flooded country paths, gradients. A paper bag rustles beside empty benches. Half-tied hair catches warm valley breeze. Fragments shapes from afar. Green hills stretch beyond stacked farming containers inside the cafe beneath silver light. Country stop glows beneath tall transmission towers by the curtain. An orange cat sleeps beneath ticket windows through window light. Loose gravel circles abandoned metal luggage trolleys from afar. My shirt seam brightens beside rail crossings by the curtain. Wild vines climb rusted fences above embankments, corners beyond the window. Mountain clouds gather beyond dark cedar forests in afternoon light. A faded billboard rattles beside empty rice fields through window light. My knee falls sways near cracked flower pots in afternoon light. Country depot breeze through old timber corridors. Three crows drift above broken greenhouse rooftops outlines. Platform clocks pause beneath tangled electrical wiring. My headphones soften distant classroom farewell memories. Green hills cradle tiled roofs beyond railways across the plate. A distant whistle circles narrow valley roadsides, curves. Wildflowers bloom beside chips, yellow warning markers, curves. My blouse collar lifts near crossing barricades by the curtain. Country terminal fades beneath broad afternoon. Cloud banks outlines inside the cafe. Old loudspeakers guard the quiet board and shelter from afar. Pine cones gather beneath weathered cedar benches, patterns across the plate. My fabric line brushes drifting leaf shadow patterns beyond the window. One train reflects through puddled May rainwater. Green hills cradle, unfinished spring departure. Memories curves, slow rails carry names beyond valley rooftop surfaces. Across station floors, I remain here while distant dreams wander. Across station floors, country stop keeps May beneath fading sunlight. Late May settles across distant mountain ridge lines. Across the tabletop, my half-tied hair follows carriage window reflections, edges from afar. Country depot shrinks beyond silent countryside. Tunnels, gradients, green hills remain beside humming railway steel. Silver rail tracks shimmer beneath afternoon sunlight through window frames. Pale fabric reflects amber platform colors, contours from afar. Check skirt sways beside yellow boarding markers. Country terminal glimmers without crowded passenger voices, contours beneath silver light. Warm steel lines curve towards cedar tunnels from afar by the curtain. Loose gravel sparkles beside weathered railway sleepers beyond the window. Half-tied hair brushes soft cardigan shoulder fabric gradients across the platform. Distant whistles echo across flooded country pathways shapes. Old signal lamps flicker above rail joints, contours beneath silver light. A dragonfly hovers beside stacked farming baskets. My pleat shadow folds against platform railings, contours. Country stop hums through heated timber floorboards beyond the window. Rail tracks mirror drifting mountain cloud reflections. 3 bicycles rest beside rusted crossing barricades in afternoon light. My white headphones carry cassette piano melodies. Telephone posts divide layered green valley ridges through window light beneath silver light. Bright sunlight stains polished railway steel gold by the lamp. Wildflowers bloom beside chipped emergency platform signage across the tabletop. My blouse sleeve touches depot bench corners by the curtain. A distant whistle bends beyond cedar wind breaks corners. Bright rails guide dreams beyond countryside valley surfaces in afternoon light. Slow wheels promise landscapes past platform rooftops, outlines beneath silver light. I stand here while quiet seasons wander across the platform. Country terminal remembers every unfinished spring departure textures. Warm shadows strike old newspaper advertisement pages surfaces near the counter. An orange cap circles waiting room benches gradients. My skirt hem brushes gravel beside crossings. Rail tracks stretch beyond layered bamboo forests by the curtain. Old loudspeakers guard quiet countryside boarding shelter surfaces. Half-tied hair catches valley breeze above handrails shapes. Silver rail joints gleam beneath near platform edges swallow shadows. Country stop sleeps beside weathered timetable notice boards shapes. A faded billboard rattles above empty rice fields across the plate. Pine needles gather beside cracked platform flower pots in afternoon light. My blouse collar brightens beside railway curves beyond the window. Signal lights blink across distant greenhouse rooftops beyond the window. Warm sunlight pools across uneven ballast stones. Street pigeons wander beneath electrical depot wiring in afternoon light. Skirt edges sway beside drainage gutters, patterns across the platform. Country platform glows through mountain haze, layers by the curtain. A paper ticket bends inside nervous fingers, rail track shimmer beyond luggage weighing scales. My headphones soften distant classroom corridor memories, textures. Wildflowers crowd pathways beside rusted crossing mirrors, curves through silence. Cloud reflections drift across polished railway steel. Terminal clocks pause beneath cedar support beams, beneath silver light. My blouse collar lifts beside warning markings by the lamp. Country stop waits through broad afternoon. Silence corners. A distant whistle circles dark countryside tunnel surfaces. Loose gravel trembles beside railway sleeper stone shapes. Manifold brushes platform concrete shadows from afar. One train reflects through scratched timetable glass surfaces across the platform. Bright rails guide dreams beyond countryside valleys through window light. Slow wheels promise landscapes past depot rooftops. I stand here while quiet seasons wander. Country platform remembers every unfinished spring departure. Gradients, late sunlight fades across shining railway steel by the curtain. My half-tied hair follows carriage window reflections, patterns beneath silver light. Country terminal shrinks beyond layered cedar tunnels across the platform. Bright rails linger beside quiet countryside crossings. The depot sign fades beneath climbing ivy. Country platform lettering cracks across cedar boards' edges. My cotton sleeve brightens beside support brackets, edges near platform edges. Check skirt sways beneath afternoon terminal sunlight. Old paint flakes gather beside timetable corner surfaces across station floors. Half-tied hairbrushes, worn wooden pillars, surfaces, edges. Through silence, a moth circles beneath hanging crossing wires, outlines. Green hills rise beyond countryside, railway tunnels, corners. The stop sign leans beside flower containers, outlines. Loose tickets hide beneath faded tourist pamphlets. Through window light, my fabric line folds against boarding railings beyond the window. Through silence, country depot hums through weather timber corridors, gradients across the platform. A distant whistle circles valley transmission towers across the platform. Wildflowers bloom beside faded emergency platform signage, outlines across the platform. My white headphones carry cassette guitar melodies, curves from afar. Telephone poles divide ridge lines beyond flooded rice fields. Through window light, three sparrows quarrel above rusted timetable notice boards. Platform clocks pause beneath tangled support wiring. Through silence across station floors, my blouse sleeve touches terminal paint fragments beneath silver light. Country stop glows beneath mountain cloud shadows, patterns across the platform. Faded depot signs remember countryside departure stories. Slow trains carry voices beyond valley rooftop surfaces. Across the platform, I remain here reading every painted letter beside the menu. Country platform keeps me beside timber corridors through window light. beneath waiting benches, edges, loose gravel circles, abandoned metal trolley wheels, textures. My pleat shadow brushed platform, concrete surfaces by the curtain. Green hills darken beyond railway, crossing tunnels by the curtain from afar. Old advertisements peel beside destination arrow placards, patterns. Half-tied hair catches valley breeze beside handrails. A paper bag rustles beneath terminal benches. Country stopwatches, swallows above fence lines, textures. The depot sign creaks beside mountain cloud banks, textures. Across station floors, pine cones gather beneath chipped countryside flower pot shapes. My shirt seam reflects through timetable glass and afternoon light. Distant whistles echo beyond bamboo forest ridges through window light. Warm sunlight stains faded platform lettering, amber from afar beside the menu. 3 bicycles rest beside crossing barricade fences by the curtain from afar. My skirt hem sways beside drainage pathways. Country terminal breeze through cedar waiting shelters. Across the tabletop, a farmer pedals beyond rice field, mirror reflections beyond the window from afar. Loose notebooks rest against boarding platform railings. Across the tabletop, my headphones soften distant classroom farewell conversations. Wildflowers crowd pathways beside cracked timetable column surfaces. Old loudspeakers guard the quiet countryside shelters. Signal lights blink across greenhouse rooftop valleys, edges from afar. My blouse collar lifts beside electrical wiring through window light. Country stop fades beneath afternoon mountain cloud banks by the curtain. A distant whistle bends across valley roadways, edges. Loose gravel trembles beside railway sleeper stones, patterns. Skirt edges, brushes drifting, leaf shadow patterns, outlines. One train reflects through cloudy depot windows. Inside the cafe, faded platform signs remember countryside departure stories. Near the counter, slow trains carry voices beyond valley rooftops, patterns from afar. I remain here reading every painted letter. Country terminal keeps me beside timber corridors through window light. Across the platform, the stop sign darkens beneath mountain sunlight. My half-tied hair follows carriage window. Reflections beyond rail lines. Country depot shrinks beyond countryside railway tunnels. Curves, faded lettering lingers beside cedar platform corridors. Curves. A distant whistle crosses layered cedar valleys beneath silver light. Pale fabric stirs beside railway shadows, textures. Check skirt brushes weathered platform, handrail paint. Country platform listens beneath broad mountain cloud banks, outlines. Near the counter, the whistle bends around dark green ridge lines across the platform. Its echo touches silent countryside, rail tracks beneath silver light. Half-tied hair grazes soft cardigan shoulder fabric surfaces. One crow rises beyond signal transmission poles across the plate. A paper ticket rests inside nervous fingertips by the curtain. Warm sunlight pools across polished railway sleepers, corners beneath silver light. My white headphones carry cassette trumpet melodies. The valley answers each returning whistle call through silence. Country station waits beneath wide mountain skylines. Telephone wires stretch beyond rusted crossing barricades. Miny folds against wood and waiting benches, shapes beneath silver light. A bicycle leans beside gravel drainage pathways. The whistle drifts beyond distant countryside tunnels inside the cafe. Its rhythm follows slow turning steel wheels in afternoon light across the platform. My blouse collarless beside station railings beyond the window. My clouds gather above layered cedar forests in afternoon light. Far whistles carry unfinished spring departure stories. Slow rails answer beyond quiet valley rooftops, gradients. I remain here, hearing every distant echo. Country station knows my hidden countryside longing. The station clock marks fading afternoon minutes. The whistle fades beyond flooded tea-filled mirrors. Textures across the platform. Half-tied hair brushes geography notebook, paper corner surfaces inside the cafe. Rail shadows stretch across yellow boarding markers, surfaces from afar. I glance toward the silent crossing, barriers, gradients, grass bends beside weathered emergency warning placards through window light. My fabric line gathers dust from sleepers, shapes beneath silver light. One swallow circles above signal lamp wiring. The whistle returns across layered green ridges. Sound reaches old cedar station rafters beneath silver light. My blouse collar brightens beneath drifting sunlight. Patches shapes country station breeze through distant mountain echoes inside the cafe. A paper cup rolls beside shining rail joints across the tabletop. Loose gravel trembles beneath warm steel reflections through window light. My headphones soften distant classroom corridor conversations edges. The valley darkens beyond crowded bamboo branches surfaces. No train appears beside cracked platform railings in afternoon light beneath silver light. Only whistle stain broad afternoon mountain silence beyond the window. My pleat shadow touches warm countryside timber surfaces through silence. Cloud shadows cross rusted railway crossing fence by the curtain. Across the platform the station sign creaks with faint steel vibrations curves. Its lettering glows beneath broad amber sunlight. Across the plate half-tied hair falls across one quiet cheek from afar. A whistle drifts beyond flooded rice field pathways. Across the platform I close my eyes beside station handrails surfaces through silence. The valley hums beneath distant greenhouse rooftops textures. Beneath silver light my blouse sleeve hides folded departure schedules by the lamp. Country station waits beside approaching countryside wheel surfaces. Far whistles carry unfinished spring departure stories by the curtain. Slow rails answer beyond quiet valley rooftop surfaces beneath silver light. I remain here hearing every distant echo across the platform. Country station knows my hidden countryside longing beyond rail lines. The whistle lingers after mountain silence settles afterward. My skirt hem moves beside yellow platform markers. One journey nears beyond shadowed cedar tunnel surfaces. Made breeze across quiet country station timber gather above country station rooftops. My white blouse brightens beneath pale mountain sunlight. Check skirt sways beside weathered wooden support pillars by the curtain. May skies open beyond distant countryside ridgelines. I rest beneath the quiet waiting roof. Through silence, cloud shadows drift across empty platform concrete. Through window light, half-tied hair brushes, warm cardigan, shoulder fabric inside the cafe. One sparrow settles above signal transmission wires near platform edges. The afternoon sky resembles folded cotton blanket surfaces. Blue spaces widen beyond tall telephone poles edges. My white headphones carry soft cassette piano melodies, textures. Country station glows beneath drifting cloud reflections beneath silver light. Hill breeze carries tea-field fragrances, outlines from afar. Cloud banks stretch across rolling countryside, green hills. Skirt edges lifts beside timber station benches. Rail tracks mirror pale openings between cloud layers. Surfaces, I trace shapes inside passing mountain cloud banks from afar. Near platform edges, one resembles an aging countryside train carriage gradients. My blouse pocket hides pressed clover fragments across the tabletop. My light softens weathered station roof tiles, contours across the plate. Clouds wander beyond unfinished spring afternoon skylines, patterns beneath silver light. Slow winds follow quiet railway valley pathways through silence. I remain here watching every drifting shadow. Country station floats beneath pale blue silence patterns. A faded billboard creaks beside overgrown station grasses by the curtain. Cloud edges brighten above distant cedar forests. Half-tied hair falls across one quiet cheek from afar. The platform warms beneath broad afternoon sunlight. I sip barely tea beside crossing handrails across the platform. Its glass reflects drifting white cloud patterns. My knee folds against quiet waiting knees, gradients beneath silver light. One dragonfly circles above rusted railway sleeper surfaces across the platform. The station clock shines beneath layered blue skies. Clouds drift beyond distant countryside, mountain roadways across the tabletop from afar. My white blouse catches passing sunlight, reflection surfaces. Country station sleeps within broad afternoon stillness, surfaces through silence. A whistle rises beyond dark cedar railway tunnels outlines. Its echo fades beneath enormous drifting cloud banks through window light. My headphones soften crowded classroom farewell memories across the tabletop. Through silence, telephone poles divide the open countryside. Heaven's shapes, I watch swallows crossing endless blue valley distances. Their shadows touch abandoned countryside platform surfaces, corners. My fabric line brushes faded yellow boarding paint. Cloud patterns shift beyond tangled cedar branches. Corners, the waiting roof frames pale afternoon cloud colors. Corners through silence, soft sunlight gathers beside rusted station railings curves. Half-tied hair moves legs against white headphone cushions across the platform. Country station rests beneath broad countryside skies through silence above the chair. Clouds deepen above the distant valley ridgelines by the curtain. Their shapes darken beside crowded mountain transmission towers. Surfaces across the platform. My blouse collar lifts beside weathered platform. Handrails across the tabletop. The whistle drifts across broad countryside. Heavens in afternoon light beneath silver light. Clouds wander beyond unfinished spring afternoon skylines inside the cafe. Slow winds follow quiet railway valley pathways through silence. I remain here watching every drifting shadow by the lamp. Country station floats beneath pale blue silence. Beyond the window, evening clouds remain above quiet station rooftops. Contours through silence. My pleat shadow brushes scattered cedar pine needles. One train approaches beneath fading mountain blue. Reflections by the curtain. May lingers across weathered country station timber. Small wildflowers bloom beside rusted railway fence posts across the tabletop. My white blouse glows beneath warm valley sunlight. Check skirt brushes narrow grasses beside railings through silence. Country station smells from fresh countryside greenery. Yellow petals gather near cracked gravel drainage stones. Textures beneath silver light. Tiny blossoms sway beside weathered railway sleepers' contours. Half-tied hair falls across soft cardigan shoulders' edges. One butterfly circles above clover-covered flower patches. I kneel beside the rusted railway fence. Wildflowers spread beneath faded emergency warning placards. My white headphones carry cassette acoustic guitar melody shapes near the counter. The platform shines beneath broad afternoon mountain sunlight across the platform. Country station rests beyond blooming roadside flower patches beneath silver light. Pink blossoms lean against weathered wood and crossing posts through window light. My skirt hem touches scattered petals beside sleepers in afternoon light. A distant whistle crosses layered countryside green hills corners. I place my notebook beside blooming white clovers. Pressed flowers hide between old geography textbook pages inside the cafe. My blouse pocket keeps folded. Departure ticket stubs beyond the window. May breezes wander through overgrown station grasses. Surfaces. Small flowers bloom through forgotten spring countryside memories from afar. Slow trains pass beyond quiet meadow railway crossings across the tabletop. I remain here holding fragile petals in afternoon light. Country station keeps these little countryside colors forever from afar. A dragonfly hovers above yellow countryside flower blossoms through window frames. Its wings shimmer beside polished silver railway tracks. Half-tied hair moves beneath warm valley wind. Fragments through silence. Cloud shadows cross blooming clover covered flower patches. The rail fence casts narrow afternoon shadow patterns edges through silence. Wildflowers gather beside cracked platform. Concrete surfaces outlines across the platform. My check skirt folds against weathered countryside railings. One swallow glides slides above rusted signal transmission poles inside the cafe. I count white petals beside weathered railway sleepers, textures, tiny blossoms brighten the silent countryside, crossing pathways, patterns beneath silver light. My white blouse catch drifting flower pollen fragments by the curtain. Country station glows beyond crowded wildflower stems through window light. A bicycle bell rings beyond flooded tea-field pathways. Wildflowers bend beside narrow gravel countryside roadways. My headphones soften distant classroom corridor conversations afterward from afar. Rail tracks curve beyond layered countryside, green valleys edges from afar. The station sign watches silent countryside, flower blossoms curves, paint flakes scatter beside tangled roots beneath railings. Through silence my check skirt gathers clover fragrance beside sleepers inside the cafe. May sunlight lingers across weathered countryside, fence posts afterward through silence. I tuck one flower inside notebook, paper pages, textures beneath silver light. Its petals rest beside folded countryside, train schedules in afternoon light. Half-tied hair slips across white headphone cushions through window light. Country station breeze through blooming station grasses afterward. Through silence, a whistle echoes beyond distant countryside, mountain ridge lines, outlines, wildflowers tremble beside polished silver railway sleepers. My blouse sleeve hides folded departure tickets afterward. The platform waits beneath pale drifting mountain cloud banks across the platform. Small flowers bloom through forgotten spring countryside, memories surfaces, slow trains pass beyond quiet meadow railway crossings. I remain here holding fragile petals, contours. Country station keeps these little countryside colors forever above the chair. Wildflowers remain beside the quiet rusted railway fences, gradings from far. My check skirt brushes scattered petals beside sleepers beneath silver light. One journey begins beyond layered countryside, green crossings afterward beneath the silver light. May settles across weathered country station timber. A local train appears beyond cedar tunnels. My white blouse brightens beneath station sunlight. Check skirt sways beside yellow boarding markers. Country station trembles through warm steel vibrations, contours. Silver headlights flicker across curved railway tracks. Loose gravel shakes beside weathered platform benches through window light. Half-tied hair lifts above white headphone cushion surfaces. One whistle echoes beyond layered countryside ridge lines. The approaching train cuts through broad afternoon silence. Steel wheels hum across polished railway sleepers against the wall. My blouse sleeve brushes folded departure ticket corners, surfaces across the tabletop. Cloud reflections dark and rusted crossing barricade fences. Country station wakes beneath pale mountain brightness. Signal lamps glow beside cracked station handrails in afternoon light. Across the platform, my check skirt gathers wind from railways afterward through silence. A bicycle rattles across narrow gravel pathways, contours through silence. larger beyond flooded tea fields textures. Window reflections shimmer across green mountain cloud banks, outlines beneath silver light. My white headphones carry soft cassette piano melodies, outlines through silence. My sunlight flashes across silver countryside, carriages in afternoon light. Slow trains arrive through unfinished spring afternoon skylines, shapes bright rails guide hidden hearts toward distant valleys. I remain still while quiet dreams awaken. Country station opens beyond familiar countryside ridgelines. Warm air rushes beside crowded platform railings. The train whistle bends across distant mountain valleys, patterns from afar. Half-tied hair slips beside cardigan, shoulder fabric afterward. Shadows gather beneath weathered countryside, station rooftops, patterns. Passengers appear behind glowing countryside, carriage windows curves. Faces drift across reflected green rice field scenery afterward in afternoon light. My check skirt brushes near painted boarding arrows. One conductor steps beside faded yellow platform markings, textures from afar. The local train slows near, rusted signal post contours. From afar its wheels sing against polished silver railway steel. Through silence my white blouse catches passing mountain sunlight, reflection surfaces. Country station fills with rolling countryside, tunnel echoes from afar. A paper cup trembles beside warm railway sleepers' edges. Dust rises around weathered countryside platform fences afterward. My headphones soften distant classroom corridor memories by the curtain. Through silence the valley blurs behind approaching silver carriage windows shapes. The train doors wait beneath broad afternoon sunlight, beneath silver light. Their glass reflects quiet station roof shadows. My check skirt moves beside painted boarding arrows. One sparrow escapes above tangled electrical transmission wires. Beneath silver light I hear brakes beneath distant cedar mountain ridges by the curtain. Metal sounds linger across broad countryside afterward from afar. Half-tied hair crosses one nervous smiling cheek beneath silver light. Country station breathes beside polished silver railway carriages. The final whistle reaches cracked countryside platform railings. Through silence rail vibrations settle beneath weathered cedar waiting benches afterward. Beyond the window my blouse sleeve hides folded departure schedules. Beyond the window made pauses beside the waiting countryside. Local train, slow trains arrive through unfinished spring afternoon skylines from afar. Bright rails guide hidden hearts toward distant valleys contours. I remain still while quiet dreams awaken above the chair. Country station opens beyond familiar countryside ridge lines, gray beams beneath silver light. The local train rests beside yellow boarding markers, textures. My check skirt brushes platform shadows beside sleepers through window light. One journey waits beyond polished silver carriage doors afterward from afar. May glows across weathered country station timber.